Be a chill interview. So let me get the formal YouTube intro out of the way, and we can go from there. All right. Recording. Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Today it's an exclusive interview. We're going to talk to him. La Machina, Conway the Machine, new album out now. He's in the midst of a...
Yes.
He's in the midst of a video shoot right now. He's taking a break so we can have a conversation with us. And this is going to be the convo. So how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Good.
Thanks for having me on the show, man. I'm a fan. I told you that.
So new record's out now. Are you liking the reception so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty dope, man. It's kind of surprising, because I kind of like worked on it and got it done so fast and just threw it out there without like hype and promote. I didn't mention it or nothing. So to see the kind of the love and the reception it's been getting, it's been pretty dope, man. I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, you did get it out there pretty quickly. As far as like releases for the rest of this year go, is God, Don't Make Mistakes still on the way? Is that still like in process and route?
Yeah. That's actually it's all completed. It's all finished. It's in the hands of Shady Records now. We getting that shit done and getting that shit out. Hopefully like June or July. So it's like, you know what I mean? Y'all got a couple months to live with the La Machina LP and then right back on y'all with the God Don't Make Mistakes. So I'm excited about it and, I can't wait for everybody to hear it. So I've been working on it for a couple years now. You know what I'm saying?
When you're in that creative mindset and working on a new project, do you find yourself lyrically, artistically, conceptually in a different lane or thinking about things in a different way when you are doing a project like, the one you have coming out with Shady, God Don't Make Mistakes, or, something like La Machina when you, kind of just dropped it out of the blue and, just kind of went straight from point A to point B and it's purely in Griselda's hands and you're in full control of it from front to back?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, actually, man, my mind state is just like, just putting on, just going hard, you know what I'm saying, and just showcasing my talent and doing what I do. There's never really no difference in anything I make. Like I put the same energy and effort into the shape any of my other projects that I put into the Shady project. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like I'm always like trying to outdo myself. I'm one of them guys that's like everything I do, the next shit I do, I want to outdo myself. You know what I'm saying? And I be mad at myself when like, if I feel like, because I really don't care what nobody think. It's how I feel. If I feel like okay, I could have did a little better. I could have, that ain't hard as the last one. It kind of be like all right, let me get back in the studio. It'd be a motivator. So to answer your question, man, the the mental state is the same. Like I'm just going in the studio to kill shit, period. You know what I'm saying?
On the new record, you said on a track in less than 2 years, you accomplished all your goals. If that is the case for the next 2 to 5 years, like what are your eyes sort of set on in terms of what you want to accomplish artistically or where you might want to be albums or numbers wise?
I mean, album wise and numbers wise, I mean, I'm definitely not done. Recording music and putting out projects and albums and shit. But so I definitely would like to see. Like I said, I want to do better. I want to outdo myself every time. So like, I would love to be, shit number one on all the charts and all that shit and do the numbers and have the success of a lot of the bigger artists. That's definitely something that I would love. That would be like a bonus and a cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? But my mental state right now is just making sure that I get, my label, Drumwork Music Group off the ground and, my artists, get them get them doing what they need to do, get they shit off, you know what I'm saying? J Skis, Love the James, Shots Almighty, and so on and et cetera. I got a couple of guys who, and ladies who they just super hungry and they just, they ready. So we're gonna be dropping their shit all summer long. and getting everybody introduced and familiar with them. And that's really just my next 2 to 5 year goal is just being one of the, one of the most talked about and, you know, beloved record labels and companies in the industry, in the game right now. You know what
Well,
I'm
with
saying?
those releases that you were just talking about, is that like a venture totally outside of what you're doing with Griselda?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's no ties with Griselda. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but we still are family though. So you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But
Well,
this is just what I'm doing.
well,
This is my own thing, my own
between
mission.
that and between Griselda, like how much would you say your creative energy, like week to week, month to month, is going to, putting out your own stuff and honing your own craft,
Can I hear some weed?
but then also,
I'm listening.
also just like running these labels and, as you were just saying, like trying to get other talent out there that you think is like worth listening to.
I mean, it's a challenge. It's new to me, and it's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. This is all new to me. I never had, artists. I just want to smoke something. I never had really artists and people like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? I had to, you know, work with hands on, or just. I never had really no other obligations or no other missions outside of my own artistry. So it's definitely a challenge, but doing it. But it's like these niggas that I'm working with, man. These artists I'm working with is just so they just super talented. They good. They can do this shit on their own. It ain't no. They don't really need me to hold their hand. They don't really need me for nothing, really. You know what I'm saying? But they just push the button and just have their back and just be in their corners, and that's the beauty of it and the blessing of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that hard, but that is the challenge of it, being Conway the machine, but also still, facilitating, and doing my obligations that need to be done with the label and the brand. And it's a challenge, and I'm up for it. I accept it. I like it.
We have a good question from chat that kind of bounced off of what you were saying earlier in terms of outdoing yourself. Do you find yourself in the studio when you're writing that you have to kind of strike a balance between wanting to take that next step ahead, but also not being so much of a perfectionist that you've kind of frozen yourself and you're not dropping something because, this could always be tweaked, this could always be rewritten, this could always be altered in some way?
I mean, see, the thing is, like, taking that next step ahead for me is like, it doesn't necessarily, translate to like musically or like lyrically. Like, I feel like I'm already like years ahead of my time anyway. You know what I'm saying? I feel like taking that next step ahead for me is like with my businesses, with my, my endeavors that I do, what I'm saying, outside of the booth to make drum work to make the Griselda records work to make my merch work, my tours, I really do everything. It's just a couple of us, you know what I'm saying? We really do everything ourselves. We don't really have like an engine behind us or none of that stuff. So it's like, what I mean? That's really what it is. Like we do that. That's what I want to take the next step ahead. And lyrically, like with my pen and my music, I feel like I'm already like 10 years ahead of niggas, 10 steps ahead of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just me. People call it cocky or arrogance. That's just me, believing in myself to the utmost. You know what I'm saying? I know what I put into this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's nothing, no obstacles in my way, not me getting shot, not me having Bell's palsy, it's nothing that can stop me. There's nothing that can keep me from, making it rough these guys in the industry. You know what I'm saying? I'm a gift from God to the industry, to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of interesting to hear you talk about being ahead in the way that you are, because simultaneously the music you make and also just Griselda in general, there's something supremely old school about it. It seems like there's something that's not in a bad way, because music always kind of changes and evolves, but there's something, sort of that I think has been creatively lost in translation with a lot of newer hip hop artists that you guys in a lot of ways are kind of keeping alive. In that respect, do you feel like you're doing something new, doing something refreshing, or kind of like, keeping something relevant or something, I guess, the pulse beating on something that if it weren't for you guys, it just wouldn't be in the landscape right now?
Um, I think it's all of that you just said. I do think like, one thing about like, beats and instrumentation and just when that shit live forever. That's the shit that's timeless to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that Pete Rock and Premier and all them dudes was doing, I can only go far back as like back then, you know what I'm saying? The early 90s, 93, 94, 95. Like, in the stuff that they was doing, I feel like that doesn't have no age to it, no age limit. That shit is timeless. And you know what I'm saying? It's all about how you doing it and how you dancing on them joints. You know what I'm saying? Like how you spitting and how you coming on them shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's, in hip hop and like with rappers, everybody's flow is like catered to a certain type of beat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rappers actually rap, write they shit or craft they shit. If they're like me, just go on the booth and just say whatever they come to their mind. It's all for the beat. The beat tells them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think the beat has no timetable. So when people be saying like, what I mean, it sound, it's like some 90s shit or some 90s shit. That shit right now can be still fire today. You know what I'm saying? It's just what you're doing on it. You know what I'm saying? Like the artists and the rappers and shit that's out right now, they might not, because they don't come up to beats, they don't come up with shit to beats like that. But if they did, it wouldn't sound like what you hear them on that what we call like mumble rap or it would be different. You know what I'm saying? So, and then part two, the other side of that is yes, I definitely feel like that me and my brother and Benny and what I'm saying, we definitely uh we just opened that door back up to a vibe and a feeling that niggas thought that they probably wasn't gonna ever get again. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, I know dudes that's like, in their mid 30s to late early 40s that just feel like they never thought in the world they would never get nothing like the shit that they loved in the 90s again. You know what I'm saying? So this shit feel kind of nostalgic, but at the same time, it's still relatively new because how we doing it, how we doing business, excuse me, like the rise, like how we doing with our merch and West Side Gun opening stores and everything that we doing outside of just being in a booth, the music. I mean, that's relatively nobody's never done this, and nobody's never put out this much work in such a short amount of time, and just seem to be getting better. Nobody's done that, and I'll gladly stand on that. I'm proud of that. I'm super confident in that. I don't think nobody's ever had to did what we've done in such a short amount of time. And it's a blessing. I'm not saying that to be, braggadocious or nothing. I'm just thank God that God chose me and my people to be the ones that do that for hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, those differences that you just cited are there. I would say there are some thematic differences too, that when you kind of compare the ethos and the topics of what you guys are saying versus some of those records back then. And I mean, a lot of those classic artists definitely had their introspective moments, but you are certainly not shy on a lot of records when it comes to talking about mental health.
Even though they did, it ain't even about what we talking about or what we did or any of that shit. It's the fact, like, nigga, it's like this. If you look at, if you're a person that, follow, the sport of basketball, what I'm saying, at basketball time, it's like this Griselda shit is like Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? We changed the game, you know what I'm saying, to where we made this shit okay again. We opened a lot of door. A lot of these niggas that's alive today and making music, and we like, oh, I love that project. That project from such and such is fire. Oh, that's a top. I love that. Oh, that's that feel. That's that grimy. We made that okay. Before we came in, niggas was motherfucking rapping like, I don't know. That shit, that drill music. And I love Chicago drill music. And niggas was rapping like all type of other shit that wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if it was themselves or not. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't care. It ain't my place to have an opinion on that. but I just know what the shit sounded like. You dig what I'm saying? But for us. And then on us, it was okay to fucking rap over a motherfucking album, the R beats, the danger beats, the boom bap, the grimy shit, the soul samples, the loops. You hearing all these rappers that we thought wasn't gonna get a shot or opportunity because everything gotta be a mainstream and a mode. You know what I'm saying? And they was even trying to do it and fit in and do one of them, put some auto tune on their shit and do that to fit in and surviving and shit. And then here come Griselda Records and we doing shit. We just dropping tapes on SoundCloud. We just putting shit on YouTube. Just rapping, and some of that shit ain't even mixed. Some of that shit ain't even nothing. It's just some of that shit don't even have hooks. You know what I'm saying? We came and we made that shit okay again. It's like with Steph Curry. We had Reggie Miller and Ray Allen and a lot of great 3-point shooters. Steph Curry didn't invent the 3-point shot. But ever since Steph Curry, what do you think when they go in and draft these players they looking for? Can you shoot the three? What do you think the analytics is and the coaches and shit is telling these motherfucking players? Shoot that shit. Don't shoot the layup. Kick that shit out. Fake the layup and kick it out for the three. That's because of Steph. So when you see and hearing these dudes' albums and their projects and shit, I don't care, bro. I'm gonna speak my mind because it's fine and I can do the
Look,
time.
I don't disagree. The way that you guys operate business wise is revolutionary, like you were saying, like for that grimier sound. But, what I was going to get back to originally was another thing that, you touched down on a lot in your music is mental health, which, yeah, you do have a lot of grimy tracks out, but I don't think that totally speaks to the fact that you have some really deeply introspective stuff that was not necessarily a sign of a lot of that shit back in the day. I mean, the passing of DMX recently makes me, think back to tracks like Slippin', which when you think back to that time, it sort of it hits you how rare of a track that was for back then. But, you on your tracks these days, you're just repeatedly and so openly just like in people's face about the depression that you've gone through, the struggles that you've had. And I guess my question is, do you feel like hip hop as a landscape today is becoming more open to those discussions artistically and just amongst the fans too?
I think it's always been, and it kind of drifted away from that. It just turned into like, you got to rap about how bad your bitch is, or how much bread you get in your car, or how many chains and all that bullshit. So I think it's getting back to real life stories and the real the music being more transparent. I think it's getting back to that, but that was the beauty of hip hop, and it always been the stuff that I grew up on, like the Ice Cubes and the Tupacs and the what I'm saying, Coogee raps and stuff like that. The music was very transparent, and it was like about yourself. And me being a person that deal with like mental health issues and stuff like the PTSD and what I'm saying, the bipolar and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm an advocate for being I feel like I need to be on the front lines and a spokesperson to let it be known like it's okay to talk to who you gotta talk to, speak who you gotta speak with, or just do whatever you need to do to kind of disconnect from the things that be what I'm saying, taking you out your zone, out your square. So what I mean? That's why it comes out in my music, because I pride myself on being like a super transparent artist. Like when you hear my music, you getting me. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, whether you stream it or not, whether you download it or not. You know what I'm saying? You listen to it, you don't like it. Man, thank you for listening. I'll do better. I'll try harder. I'm just one of them type of artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't lose no sleep at night if somebody say, hey, I didn't like that one. I didn't, I think he can he can go better than that, or I didn't like that song, or with such a, like, I don't lose no sleep over that. I actually welcome that. So, cause I want to be the best I can be. You know what I'm saying?
I want
Period.
to ask you specifically, production wise, about Big Ghost. Actually, because I've been following him and been aware of him since he used to do reviews. I actually crossed over with him a couple times and had done reviews with him like way back when, and kind of drifted apart when he went into putting out more music based stuff. How did you guys end up kind of linking up?
I don't know. I have no idea that when we first initially linked up, I think West Side Gun, him and West Side Gun put that shit together. When we did Griselda Ghost, I was saying like West was like, yo, we should do this shit. And I'm just saying, I'm like, hell yeah. You know, so I wasn't aware. Like West Side Gun was more hip to Big Ghost and who he was and his following and how lit he was. And he was just telling me like, I'm telling you, we gotta go follow him, man. You know what I'm saying? This was early when we was just starting this Griselda record shit. So that's how we ended up linking and doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it started with Griselda Ghost, and then we just always just, he reach out or I always, we would just do more music. I never mind collabing with Big Ghost. I never met him. I don't know what he looked like. I don't know if it was a he or a she, or I don't know who
Yeah,
the fuck it is. You could be
I
Big
was
Ghost.
gonna
A
I was
little
gonna
bit.
ask you because he or she, as you just said, has gone to great lengths to just kind of maintain his anonymity. And I don't know. I thought if anybody would know who he was, it would be you.
I don't know how he do it, but he did it. It's definitely. I've never seen him. I've never talked to him verbally. I never spoke with him. Everything has been done through. We've done 3 albums, and it's all been done through
Yeah.
DMs. Hey, you might be that
It
ghost.
might be
You know
me. It
what
might
I'm
be
saying?
that'd be the most incredible fake out. I mean,
I might be
it
that ghost
it
all
might
the
be you.
time.
I mean, that's how you guys linked up. But what kind of keeps that creative relationship going? Because obviously you did the second project, and there might be another one in the future. Like personally, as somebody who's listened to hip hop for so many years, what continues to draw you to his production? What makes it stand out to you?
Well, I mean, first of all, I know it's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? I got that trust that I know when, he sent a batch through. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, when we did both of the tapes we did, where it was just me and him, um, maybe he sent uh 10 beats, and I maybe rapped on all of them but one. And then the next tape, the same thing. It's like I know what it's gonna be when he send it. He ain't about to send me, just saying, mediocre or any kind of way or whatever the case may be. So I salute it, and it's dope. Once they reach out and say, "Hey, what's up? Let's do one, man, and cook up." I'd be obliged. It'd be my honor. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't forget where I came from. Fuck with Big Ghost. Salute. Shout out Big Ghost, man.
Before I get into the next topic, to stay on producers at this point in your career, since there's, in my view, still so much to do that could be done, are there any sort of dream producers that you have at the top of your head that you'd like to work with at some point?
Um, I don't know. Maybe Pharrell, Dr. Dre. Well, I've worked with Dr. Dre in some respect, but it wasn't like for me or like for my tape. But I've been in a studio with Dre and we, worked on some like stuff. I was just there. I was just fly on the wall. I don't say we worked on none of that, but I contributed. We cooked up and he played beats for me and music and shit for me. So, but definitely I want to work with work with Dr. J, uh, uh, High Tech. Um, I've already worked with Swiss on our DMX album. Um, I've already worked with Kanye. So maybe yeah, like probably Pharrell, High Tech, Dr. Dre, Q-Tip. I gotta get in the studio with Q-Tip for
There's
sure.
a quote that grabbed my attention recently from Fabulous. He said something to the note of that rapping is the most dangerous job in America. Do you think there's a point to that?
Absolutely, it's the most dangerous job in period. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know you jive hoping and praying and crossing your fingers that you make it home and see your kids at night. You know what I'm saying? Or you just simply, going to the studio or going to shoot a video or going to work, shit like that. Because, like, it's been for years and for the longest, like, a lot of these rap niggas been pussy and they ain't been solid and they not real niggas. So they look like easy targets, easy licks. Like, why not? If you come to my city, I know my niggas gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, I gotta be the one to tell niggas, like, nah, stand down, they good. It's just like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely dangerous. Niggas is coming to your shows, niggas coming to your everything. the videos, whatever. Because man, cats is hungry. Cats is trying to do what they need to do to take care of their families. And like a lot of these rap dudes, they solid. They're not real. They're not. They rats. They suckers. They don't take care of their hood. They don't take care. They don't give back to their community. They don't even take care of their own kids. They don't even respect their mama. Their mama still in a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, living in a fucking garage in a barn, and they got a mansion with R&B bitch son running around here with Birkin bags and Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like that is food. So it's definitely dangerous because sometimes these street niggas and these gangsters, they can't tell the difference of who's solid, who not, who dead, what da 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 da. All I see is food. You know what I'm saying? I gotta eat. And that's really what it's about, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, I agree with Fabulous. I've been saying that. Like being a rapper is definitely the most dangerous job that you can have. Facts. You got to motherfucker make sure you know it's a prayer sent up and a knocking on wood. Like I got to make sure I get home to me and mine. You know what I'm saying? Got you clutching, got you. You know what I mean? You got to move different. You got to move more militant and everything. You know what I'm saying? This shit can happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you, switching gears, about what's obviously, I think, one of the biggest non-musical influences on what you and Griselda do in general, and that's just wrestling and wrestling culture in general. The samples and references throughout the lyrics and the videos and the audio snippets, how you guys incorporate it into what you do. When exactly in your life did you kind of come into pro wrestling, and like what were some of those first wrestlers and names that might have left an impact on you?
I just came into it. I can't remember the age or like when, but I was relatively young. Like I was like 9, 10, or whatever. And we'll just have like like in a hood when like people be moving out of their house and moving somewhere else, they might throw away their beds and their mattresses and shit, box springs, or we'll set them shits up in like a abandoned field, and we'll be wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that shit really came from. We enjoyed it, watched it on TV, but I was one of them ones I never really could see that shit on pay per view and all that. My people wasn't paying for all that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see no Mike Tyson fights and no WrestleManias or Royal Rumbles and none of that shit. No pay per view. I was lucky to see that shit on TV when it was like a Monday, you know what I mean? A regular show. So, I always had the love, I always stuck with it. I love wrestling, man. I love all sports. You know what I'm saying? I love all sports.
Yeah.
Not all sports, but a lot of sports. I ain't gonna say all sports. A lot of that shit is fun. But I like a lot of sports.
Yeah, I'd done my share of that too, the wrestling with my friends, and we had a one of those stolen cable boxes as well. So I saw a couple WrestleManias. I saw a
Yeah,
couple.
yeah.
I
You
saw a
already
few.
know. You got lucky. You got lucky. Only time I seen him was when I used to go to beg to spend the night to go to West Side House, West Side Gun House. Like, man, come on, man, please, can I spend the night, Grams? And my grandmother would be like, okay, all right, you gotta leave in the morning. And I'll catch them shits, you know what I mean?
To get just one more question in about it, since you guys have been sort of like so open and so heavily referential to to just like wrestling in general, have there been many instances of you guys kind of getting love back from that culture, either the fandom or just like the wrestlers themselves?
Absolutely, like absolutely. When I go to like, I try to go to like as many wrestling events that I can. You know what I mean? I was just recently at the WrestleMania and the fans, they recognized me instantly. I was with all, the wrestlers and stuff, Omos and Bianca Belair and all that shit. Like I fuck with everybody. Nigga Montez, like, what I'm saying? I go and patch in with the wrestler. It's love, like, shout out MVP, Bobby Lashley, like $10, all everybody. It's love.
I recently saw that Benny the Butcher had announced a tour. With the stuff that you're dropping throughout the rest of this year, are you kind of planning on announcing some dates at some point too? Are you kind of raring to go with that?
Yeah, I got excuse me, I got the Love Will Get You Killed tour. Uh, that's kicking off in September, early September. I got my tour. I just announced it. Actually today, I just announced it. Probably like 20, like somewhere around 20 dates. Probably gonna get some more dates added or whatever, but the shit gonna be lit, definitely. And I'm gonna be popping in and out on Benny's tour. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. All right. Just to tie it up with a few music fan questions before we head out. I wanted to know, in your personal
Mhm.
opinion, if you had a favorite of like Jay-Z's discography as far as like eras. I mean, personally, do you feel like he was kind of at his peak creatively around Reasonable Doubt, volumes 1 through 3, Blueprint, Black?
I don't think he had his peak
Really?
yet. Yeah, I don't think he's at his peak yet. I mean, everything I hear from, I mean, we just going back to the last, the joint he did with Nipsey Hussle. To me, that was just like, and then just before that, and the shit on Pusha T, on Meek Mill album was free. The shit with Pusha T. I mean, I don't see it slowing down, or I don't think he had a peak. And that's just me being totally unbiased and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but if I gotta pick, the album or era, maybe Reasonable Doubt to me, because that was just the foundation. And then, of course, I love Blueprint, the Blueprint one. But
Yeah, I mean,
I like all
I
that
think there's
shit.
definitely a case to be made for what you said, considering that like how good 444 was, and I mean,
Absolutely.
from there, I mean, it shows you that the fire's still burning in a lot of respects creatively.
Hell yeah. Right. I was like, it amazes me. Like, how are you still doing this in your 40s, your late 40s? And, it just shows me and it confirms to me that this hip hop shit don't have no age
Mm.
limit. As long as you staying dedicated to your craft and still, what I'm saying, taking it serious and, you know, putting thought into what you're saying and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's never over. So it's definitely gratifying to see and watch and learn from. And it's just dope to even have a relationship with
Mm.
Hope.
No, it's true, and I think I think what's a little underestimated and not necessarily appreciated enough at this point is just how much ground is being broken just by virtue of hip hop becoming the age that it is, because every decade is sort of a new age that it becomes in a way, because it's just sort of now, I think, reaching almost like classic rock status in terms of its omnipresence and its cultural relevancy. And some people kind of respond to that and say like, well, what's going to happen? Are we going to have rappers rapping in their 70s? When the answer is honestly like, of course we're going to have rappers rapping in their 70s, and that's not going to be a bad thing.
Yeah, why not? Why not, man? Like, long as I mean, some people take that shit that serious, and it shouldn't be no age on like
Mm.
creativity. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter how old you are or whatever. Like, if you still can, create a piece of timeless art. I'm a connoisseur. I'm a fan of like art and code. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why would not would accept it? Why? Because this nigga's 50, 60. Like, we might be the only genre where it's like an age limit. Oh, that's the old nigga. That's the old nigga. He 35. He 45. We ain't jacking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in rock and roll and other genres, like, man, we love our icons and our legends. And as long as they keep putting out output and doing what they do and doing what we love, the fans support it. They buy it, they stream it, they do it. You know what I mean? It's like hip hop is the only genre where it's like they try to put like a ceiling on it. You know what I'm saying? And, why not? Motherfucker be 50, 60 years old, still putting out a piece of art that we love.
I hope so.
Why not?
I hope so. Well,
Yeah,
hey, listen, I know you're still in the middle of that video shoot. And again, we appreciate you taking the time and coming through. And thanks for the conversation, man.
absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you. I'm a fan of the show and fan of everything you're doing. Love and respect.
Thanks. All right. Well, have a good one.